With the Montreal Canadiens having such a poor start to the season and so many fans yelling, Shane Wright or bust, the question is, should the Montreal Canadiens tank this season to get a high draft pick? Hey everybody, I'm Rick. Welcome to Talkin' Habs, where you get your daily fix of Bleu Blanc Rouge. The Montreal Canadiens' records to start the season at 4-11-2 is not what most Habs fans expected from their team. The bad performances and abundance of injuries has most of us asking this question: should the Habs tank this season and try to get center Shane Wright or any of the top-rated draft picks? So I'm going to do the math in this video to see if Montreal has a legitimate chance to turn this around enough to make the postseason and another run at the Stanley Cup like they managed last season. If the numbers show an almost impossible task, I'll give you 5 ways Montreal can tank without asking the players to do it. The Habs have no luck this season, and this latest injury to Jake Allen and the flukiness of it, or the whatever you want, however you want to term that, it just proves that and confirms that this is just a bad luck season. And is that all there is? Can Montreal turn this around? They need to finish in the bottom 10 to retain their first-round pick and give Carolina's pick that they got for the offer sheeting of KK, Jesperi Kotkaniemi. They want to give that pick to Arizona because that should be a pretty late-round pick, as Carolina seems to be one of the best teams. Well, they are so far, and if they carry that all the way through, it's not going to be a very good pick. Montreal's own first-round pick is top 10 protected. If they want a chance at number 1, they have to finish in the bottom 10 of the league. So Montreal is 1-6-1 on the road so far with 33 road games left. So at this pace, they should go 4-25-4 in those 33 games. And that gives them 12 points of 85 points that they need to get, in my opinion, to get a wild card spot. It's 95 points, but they have 10 already. They are 3-5-1 at home with 32 games left at home. At this pace, they should go 11-17-4 the rest of the way at home for 26 of those 85 points. Let's look at the math. So they're going to get 12 points from their road record, 26 from their home record. That'll give them 38 points remaining that they should get this season on this pace. To go along with their 10 points, you add the 38 and 10, and you get 48 points. Montreal's on a 48-point pace right now. Now, I figure they need 95 points as a minimum to get a wild card spot. So if you take those 48 points away, that leaves 47 points. They need 47 more points than they are on pace for. And that's double their current pace. And that's asking a lot from a team that is not performing at all right now. Subscribe and ring that notifications bell. And hey, give a thumbs up. 4-11-2, that's their record right now. That's 10 points. In the 17 games played so far, there was a potential 34 points. The 10 points that they got is less than 1/3. For a full season of 82 games, that's 164 potential points. 1/3 of that is 54.33 points, or you could say either 54 or 55. Still means Montreal is on a pace for 48 points because they're getting right now less than 1/3 of their potential points. The Habs' winning percentage is .294 right now. Realistically, if they do improve, how much do they have to improve to make the playoffs? So let's look at it. 10 points in 17 games, and that 17 games means they have 65 games left in the season. That's 130 potential points. They need 95 points, in my estimation, as a minimum to hit a wild card. They have 10 points in the bank, and that gives them that 85 more points needed. That's how I get to that. A 40-20-5 record to finish the season, or something approximating that, because that gives them the 85 points. You may have a couple less wins, or however you want to adjust it with the wins and losses. It still has to hit 85 points. That's a good estimation of how they have to finish. So that would give them that 85 points. That's about a 660 winning percentage. And that's also more than double what they have right now. There's nothing about this team that says to me they're capable of lifting their games to that level consistently for the next 65 games. And they need to start today, not next week, not next month, but today they need to do that. Because people are saying, look, St. Louis did it 3 seasons ago. They were, I think it was January 1st, they were last in the league, and they ended up making the playoffs, not being first in the league, but making the playoffs and then making a run at the cup and winning the cup. So they turned that around at the beginning of January, and then they won the cup. They had the month of February that season, which we don't have this season if Montreal goes to the Olympics, right? So you got it. That timeline comes down to December 1st and not January 1st. So they need to turn that around. Like I say, maybe next week, okay, but they need to turn that around now to give them enough time if you're going to compare them with St. Louis to make that same kind of a run. Now, St. Louis, the reason that month is important is because, sure, the number of games is the same, but that extra month means the games were spread out more, a little bit easier for them to make that kind of a run. Montreal won't have that after the Olympics. It gets much tighter, and the games, they're closer together, and it's going to be harder for them to do that. So, and I kind of think with a month off, maybe, okay, they can practice more and be better, but maybe they'll be a little rusty as well. And then, you know, it could be a slow start getting back into it. A lot of these things, the way the season's going, probably will happen, and that'll affect things. So they need to make a start at this run right now, or it's kind of over. Also, a key for that is, will everyone be healthy and ready to go by then? Some of the players are starting to come back, but I mean, we're missing some guys. They need to get back into game shape. There's tons of injuries right now. Who knows what the lineup looks like every night, right? It's a big question mark every night, what the lines are going to be and what they look like. So how are they going to get set to make a run like this? I just don't see it personally. We want you to become a member of Talking Habs. So theoretically, how do they make this season pay off somehow? Tanking for a high draft pick, pretty much, and getting the kids and the prospects in there and giving them some NHL experience. To my sense, that is something that would be a positive. So since I don't think that these numbers add up to anything that is positive for them to be able to turn this around, make the playoffs, and then make a good run at the playoffs, because you know, at this point, they can get that high draft pick by continuing to play the way they are. Making a run, probably not going anywhere with it. Getting a middle of the road or a high round draft pick, late round draft pick, I should say. Is that worth it? I don't know. Do I really want my team to suck? I don't. I want them to win. But at some point, you have to rebuild by getting these draft picks. Right now, there's a center that's out there, Shane Wright, that looks like the real deal, and it's about the only way you can really build that, you know, get those guys and build that team. You have to build around your young core. You got to consider it. So here's 5 ways, and I'm going to give you a bonus way for how they can do that without asking the players to tank. You cannot ask your players to tank. You can't. You don't want to get them into that mindset. And that's because that's going to be hard to break. You have to, management and coaching has to put them in positions to lose, basically, to not be good enough to win a lot of games. Basically, that's it. Everyone wants the coach to be fired right now. Not too many people are happy with Dom Ducharme, and they want him to be fired. They're not getting the job done. That's the whole coaching staff. If you look at, people are touting Luke Richardson to replace him, but I mean, he's head of the defense. The PK unit isn't where it should be. The defense is not where it should be. Is that the coach's fault completely, or the members of the defense that we have? Combination of both. Power play, not really clicking. It just overall, the coaching staff's not doing the job. So firing them now means a new coach and a new coaching staff, potentially, and a turnaround that probably will fall short of the playoffs or short of a Stanley Cup, and means another late-round pick, and Montreal will have to send their own pick to Arizona and use Carolina's pick. So that means, just for sure, a late-round pick. Doesn't mean Arizona gets a great pick either, but, you know, they don't get a good pick either way. So don't fire the coach. The coaching staff isn't good enough, don't fire them. Once the season starts and you get at least 5-10 games into the season, guys are hurt all the time with minor stuff, and that wouldn't normally keep them, you know, out of the lineup. But maybe make more out of it, you know, here and there. Guy, maybe he's hurt, give him a night off here and there. Give the, you know, make the lineup be ever-changing because of injury. It's kind of what's happening right now, and that's why I question if they're not already doing this, right? So many guys out. Every night there's somebody else out with a this injury or that injury, lower body or upper body. They don't tell us anymore. But, you know, a guy's kind of complaining he's not feeling 100%, sit him out. It means a lot of call-ups maybe, and I don't know how that works on the cap, but I think this is something you've got to do. Ice a lineup that isn't good enough to win most games and make frequent line changes. And that would be how that works. The defense has not been very good this season so far, and I'm being really nice when I say it that way. David Savard looking like Carl Alsner 2.0. Chris Weidman isn't very good 5-on-5 or in the defensive zone. And there's not enough puck movers in this lineup at all. Yeah, I say, you know what? Don't fix the defense. Keep Weidman here and play Savard with him. Imagine Weidman and Savard, great 5-on-5 and in the defensive zone, I would think. And that could be probably the worst defensive pairing ever. Carey Price, good news is he's training again, but he's been out for the whole season so far for various reasons, partially injury, and then he went into the player assistance program. And we don't know a timeline on when he comes back, so just make that timeline go past the Olympic break, that's all. So, Carey Price, keep him out till after the Olympic break at the earliest. Let the kids play. Montreal has a lot of good prospects. They do. That need to gain NHL experience. There's 5 guys right now in Laval that, you know, you can kind of rotate bringing them up and down. And they're guys like this here. You got Jesse Alonen, who's playing really well. I think he's got already 11 points down there. Last I saw, I think it was 4 goals, 6 assists, playing really well. They said he might be NHL ready this year. Give him a shot. He's got to be playing better than some of the other guys here right now. Matthias Norlinder, who they are going to give a shot. I thought they would have done it by now, and he may be in the lineup tonight against the New York Rangers. Raphael Harvey-Pinard. Here's a guy that I think has potential to be a good bottom 6 guy. Bring him in, see what he can do. Lucas Vedimo. Here's a guy that he's from Sweden. I think he's a center. Bring him in. Give him a shot. It doesn't have to be for the whole season, but give him some experience. Give him an actual real shot, not like they've given these guys, like, you know, not in good, not putting them in good positions to actually succeed. You got to do that. Give these guys a shot. And on defense, one other guy is Johnny Fairbrother. Johnny Fairbrother, you know, I don't know that he's a legit NHL prospect, but you got to bring him up and see. He's probably playing better than David Savard is right now. And to that kind of a game, right? Isn't he supposed to be a heavy hitter and a physical player? Bring him up. Let's see what he's got. You might have to move a veteran player or two, but, I mean, try to give these guys some ice time and some very valuable experience. If some of these guys, and I think Alonen, Norlinder, Harvey-Pinard, I think those 3 guys legitimately have a shot to make the NHL. Give them an opportunity here. Give that. It'll help for the tank. As a bonus, be sellers at the trade deadline and retool. And build around that young core that is here and is coming up. And for that, I include Nick Suzuki, Alexei Romanov. I can never say his name right anymore. I don't know what is with that. Jake Evans, Cole Caulfield, Matthias Norlinder, Caden Gooley, and etc. Ryan Poehling. I don't know how I didn't have Ryan Poehling on there, who's here right now. Build around these guys through the trade deadline. Start there and in the offseason. And this team has to move forward with this young group. And, you know, with the with the prospects that are coming through the pipeline right now, you know, in the next 2-3 years, this team's going to be a really good team, but you got to start giving these guys NHL experience and start right now. It's a season that, it's going to go to waste, and these guys, we're going to finish last anyway, maybe, and these guys are going to get no NHL experience, and I don't understand this. And that, my friends, is how I think that this team needs to tank, because you don't want the players to do it, but management and coaching have to find ways to make this team tank at this point. Because I think getting a high draft pick this year is better than Montreal just finishing in the middle of the pack and getting a lousy draft pick again. That's it. Let me know if you agree in the comment section. See you next video. Peace out. Bye, everybody. Subscribe and ring that notifications bell. And hey, give a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hey, check out that video over there.